Welcome back, everybody. Today, I want to talk about why I moved to Kenya. There's a lot of reasons. First off, I want to get something straight. Kenya is a lovely place, but there's other options. But if you are searching for a place to stay in sub-Saharan Africa, first off, you gotta know which part of Africa do you want to stay in. Do you want to stay in East Africa? Do you want to stay in West Africa? Southern part of Africa? You gotta first make that decision. It was either West Africa or East Africa. Within West Africa, I chose Cape Verde. Now, many of you don't know Cape Verde, but I stayed there on and off for 4 years, and it's a lovely country. It is one of the most stable democracies. I think it's the third most stable or second most stable democracy in all of Africa. I also think it's in the top three most organized, least corruption. All that stuff is in the top three, Cape Verde. So, if you want something a little bit more stable, with not too much corruption, and trust me, there is a lot of corruption in Africa. So you may want, if that's something that's going to bother you, or if you want to invest money, if you come to Africa, then Cape Verde may be a safe bet for you, because you will not have to deal with bribing people or potentially getting scammed. Reason why I moved to Kenya. Well, I gotta say, beautiful women. People are, most are very friendly and very laid back. Even with the men, I've noticed there's not too much aggression, and for you to get into a fight with the Kenyan men, you really, most of the time, not all the time, because some of them do act like fools, just like in any country. But for the most part, if I find a foreigner having a fight with a Kenyan, especially American, because we're more hot tempered than Europeans, chances are is probably the American overreacted to something that the Kenyan really didn't mean it with such gravity. Kenyan men are very laid back. They're very cool. Most of Kenya is, there's not a lot of crime. I mean, to them, they think it's a lot of crime. There is crime, trust me. But relatively speaking, in comparison to, for example, some of the other countries like Angola, South Africa, I mean, Kenya is way better than those countries. It's also not as underdeveloped as most African countries. It's the most developed country in East Africa. For my research, I would say South Africa, Botswana, Namibia are more developed. That are the sub-Saharan African countries. Benefit also about Kenya is that medium-sized to large country in Africa. So you have different types of places that you can go to. You got the coast with beautiful beaches. You have Nairobi, with skyscrapers. Even though I still don't understand why Kenya has a problem with having sidewalks. I could understand the dirt roads, but the sidewalks, I have a major issue with that. But aside from that, it's got different tribes, and they're all very unique in their own sense. Culturally, even the way people, the facial features, the body features, the physical features in general, they're different. So I like that diversity. You have a lot of Indians. They are the 44th tribe, I believe. You have Somalis. So you have variety here. I like the fact that I could go to Nairobi. I stay in Mombasa, but I could go to Nairobi and pretty much find anything that I want. And some of the stuff may be extra expensive, like a pair of Nikes. At least you have the option of buying a pair of Nikes. And you also have the option of buying the fake stuff. I also like that it has not gotten too expensive yet, but it's getting there. Nairobi is getting, to me, I think it's too expensive for what it offers. No offense if you're a Kenyan watching this, but I could go to Thailand and get much more for my money. Mombasa is still affordable, although it's rapidly getting expensive. Me personally, right now, I live for $550 on the beach. Actually, I live 100 meters from where I'm recording now. This a lounge restaurant. Let me show you. And you have a bunch of these. You have a bunch of these all along the beach, even though they want to increase the rent by almost $200 this year. And I just like the vibe. I mean, I haven't taken full advantage with my YouTube channel, for example. to do content creation, but if you want to, let me just put it to you this way. If the chances of you blowing up as a content creator in Kenya are so much better than if you stay in most countries. I mean, Kenya last year was ranked number one in terms of TikTok usage percentage wise. So it's easy. I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's definitely easier for you to get followers and you get notoriety, establish a following on TikTok, for example, here in Kenya, even on YouTube. I've seen so many Americans grow their accounts while they're here. Not to say that Kenya is the only place I've seen Americans do the same in Thailand. Thailand is also a good place. So that's how I decided to come to Kenya. I was on a 3-month visa, and I said if I don't like it, then I'll leave after 3 months. So after 3 months, I liked it. I stayed 6 months. Then I stayed 9 months. Then I went back home. Then I came back. I ended up liking it, and I'm still here. I'm still here. My recommendation is try Kenya. If you're trying to move to Africa, if you want to come to the east part along the eastern coast, I would definitely say Kenya. I see people all the time trying to go to other places. They end up coming back to Kenya. Same thing with Cape Verde. When it comes to West Africa, same thing. I would see people try to leave and then they would end up coming back to Cape Verde, even if the official language is Portuguese in Cape Verde and they didn't know how to speak much Portuguese. They would still come back. When I see stuff like that, then I know I'm in the right place. So that is my take on it. Hope you found it helpful. And if you have any questions or any video that you would like for me to do, let me know and I will do it. Until next time, love y'all. And by the way, check me out on TikTok. My TikTok account is much larger than here on YouTube. Deuces.
I won't look back ever again. You ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man, I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine. I'm never second guessing, I just